right, a day after the bombshell, they're throwing the bombs. Right now, the latest is where we stand on this whole Comey, let's reopen everything, investigation stuff is this. Ranking Democrats are saying, and by the way, including Mrs. Clinton herself, why don't you tell us what you've got? All right, FBI director, just tell us what you got and do so before the end of the weekend so every voter can be apprised what is in your arsenal. No response yet from Mr. Comey's office, just that he swallowed enough pride yesterday to say, oops, I have to revisit some stuff. Republicans liking it, Democrats not trusting it. Now, the fallout. With Rasmussen Reports' Amy Holmes, Democratic Mayor of Miami Beach, Florida, Philip Levine, and Madison Gesiotto. All right, Madison, and would you get your take now? What's going to happen? You know, the Washington Times tries to frame this and give it a big picture context. What is it today?
Well, you know, I think there's a lot of voters that were very hesitant about voting for Hillary Clinton early on because of the FBI investigation. When that was closed, a lot of these fears were alleviated for them. But at the same time, a lot of them still haven't voted, and now these fears have been brought back up. So I think when we talk about early voting, some people have voted, but for those that haven't, I think this could push them over the fence to vote for Mr. Trump.
You know, Mayor Levine, one of the things I hear from a lot of Trump supporters is they're not nuts. I mean, they're not saying that, all right, all those Hillary voters are going to be our voters. What they're hoping for, they tell me, including one earlier here, is that those frustrated Hillary voters just stay home. And that changes the race. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think so. You know, I just took a tour around the entire state, African-American mayor's bus tour called Souls to the Polls. And the enthusiasm for Secretary Clinton is tremendous. It's palpable. You see it everywhere we go. The early voting numbers in Florida right now are at significant numbers for the Democrats. Matter of fact, we are way above what President Obama had in 2012 at this point. So the enthusiasm's there. I think, truthfully, at this point in the campaign, the people are saying, you know, we don't really want to hear what the candidates want to push out. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. What they want to hear about are the real issues, how it affects their lives. I think we're at that point, whether it's, you know, affordable education or, you know, climate change issues.
As
or
long as you don't say affordable health care, right? Don't say affordable health care. You could be in deep doo-doo there. All right.
Right. But, you know, I think what it is people want to hear the real stuff.
Okay. Well, that stuff, Amy Holmes, has been what's come back to bite Mrs. Clinton. Again, these things ride waves, and I don't doubt, as the good professor was saying in the last segment, that we could go through a couple of more little surprises before this is all over. Having said that, do you find it ironic in a campaign that's been about, you know, charges and criticisms and personal attacks, that it could be decided on the mayor's point of substantive issues, like this health care thing that has all of a sudden erupted?
Well, I hope that the election is about substantive issues, but I think national security is a substantive issue. And to have thousands of emails on a home computer that Ms. Avedon shared with her husband, Anthony Weiner, that could easily be hacked, I think that is a serious issue. And if you ask likely voters, Rasmussen Reports, we asked those voters, who do you think has more to hide, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump? And a majority, 50% of likely voters, said that they thought that Hillary Clinton has more to hide. We'll find out if in the next 10 days that there's more. But even her own communications director, Jennifer Palmieri, she says, look, we get it. We know that honest and trustworthy are metrics that don't look good for us. Well, this story, I think, only makes that worse.
Well, we'll see. But I think some Hillary Clinton supporters yesterday, Madison, were expressing frustration that no one is mentioning Donald Trump's tax returns anymore. No one's mentioning, you know, that big, nearly $1 billion loss in 1995 and why he hasn't released more of those returns since. What do you think of that?
You know, they're not mentioning these things because Mr. Trump isn't under investigation by the FBI. What most Americans are very happy about is the fact that the FBI is sending a clear message that nobody is above the law, including Mrs. Clinton herself. People are sick of the same old in Washington. They're sick of politicians being held to be above the law and thinking that they are above the law. Hillary Clinton is finally being held to the standard that she deserves to be held to, which is the same standard someone like you or I would be held to. They're opening the investigation. They're not holding off. They have this information. It's come to light, and they need to open that investigation up, and that's what they've done. As Mr. Trump said yesterday, people are happy that the FBI is righting their wrong in this first investigation, which was very inefficient.
Mayor, what do you think of the FBI director?
Well, listen, I think the FBI is above reproach, and I think that we can never go and criticize the FBI now. I think Director Comey possibly could have handled this differently. It's unprecedented 10 days before an election. I mean, think of what he said in his letter. He just said that he's not even sure that these emails have anything to do with anything. Clearly, he has some very big concern of the Republican Congress. Those are his bosses. We know that. But I want to just address what Madison said. I mean, Donald Trump is under federal IRS investigation, and that's the reason why supposedly he won't return or put out his tax returns. His Trump University is under investigation from many states. Donald Trump is a guy who is under investigation right now. Let's not forget that.
But Neil, here's the problem for Hillary Clinton that this story creates for her is that she is now the headline, and she is the one who's in the spotlight for potential, at least extremely careless handling of national security information. That's not where she wants to be right now.
She thought she had put to bed.
Exactly.
Is not to bed. Guys, thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, he's a big Trump.